Susan, I'd like to say
Mr. Pepper?
a couple things. Without the support staff union, this would have been buried. The principal wanted to fire this heroic woman, and the support staff union stepped in and prevented that. I have always been a union man, always, and this is why. I think I'm the only person in this room who has been a member of a union, voted to strike, and walked the picket line. So I am very much a union man. Now, what about the teachers' union? The teachers' union was disgraceful. Totally, completely, and utterly disgraceful. They tried to strong-arm teachers who had direct knowledge of the abuse of the children in that room, which of course included my son, who was target number one, and they tried to frustrate DRP while they conducted their investigation. So I think that's very important to know that. It's not a union, non-union issue. The one union performed beautifully. The other union performed putridly. I'm wondering if they're going to start a campaign again to try and undermine DRP. We'll find that out. Now, it's interesting that we hired a new assistant superintendent, and I got to I don't know her. I hear nothing but nice things about her. But I considered voting against her, not because of her, but because of the people that were at least in part involved in hiring her, namely Dr. Garvin and Dr. Yanni. I blame, of course, both of them for the cover-up of the abuse of my son and the other children in that room. Why did this happen? Any parent of a child with special needs knows that things like this can happen. We get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and stare at the ceiling worrying about that, like I did this morning. But why did it happen? I think there was a culture that was inculcated by Dr. Garvin of protecting the principals. I think Dr. Garvin wanted to protect Dr. Heineman, or Dr. Heineman, right, Mr. Heineman. I think there was something inappropriate going on between my son's teacher and Mr. Heineman. What that was, I don't know. I've seen that word several times in several different contexts. And rather than protect my son and other children in that room, Dr. Garvin protected Mr. Heineman. That is outrageous. That culture continued into the spring when Karen, strictly confidential information about my son was disclosed by a principal to Garvin and Yanni. Information was gathered about my son and run to Dr. Garvin and Dr. Yanni. Bad information about my son, information neither of them had any right to. They sent my son and 3 other defenseless children back into that room to be abused and did not care. They lied, they covered up, and at every turn, including this afternoon, Dr. Yanni has lied. Now, if someone would say, well, Dr. Yanni is going to sue you, bring it. Come get it. Everything I have said has been true and borne out. We knew the truth of everything that was material to make a decision to put all of these people out on leave in early January, which begs the question, why weren't these people put out on paid leave pending the outcome of Lee Dalton's investigation? I don't know. I will say that Mrs. Foley, Mrs. Reynolds, Mrs. Gibson, and Mr. Kimikata wanted these people out. Do the math on the other people that did not. Those people failed my son. Those people failed the other children in that room. And they should be embarrassed.
Please, no comments from the audience during board comment period.
The idea that somehow, some way, people who are involved in the cover-up of this horrific abuse should have stayed in their job for a millisecond longer than they did is outrageous. I have no idea the machinations that went into putting Dr. Yanni out on leave this evening. No idea. I am out of that discussion because of a perceived conflict of interest there. And I've honored Mrs. Gibson's request to remove myself from that process. But the idea that we are here today with another 6 weeks, 8 weeks waiting for Lee Dalton's report to confirm everything we already know is ridiculous. Dr. Garvin will be feted at the end of May for her 33 years of wonderful contributions to this district. And she'll be looking on us fondly in her retirement. Dr. Garvin broke her contract. Her contract said that she had to stick it out through July 31st. She broke her contract. That's a material term in the contract. Why? And then we're hearing that we may not hear from Lee Dalton until June. Regardless, this can never happen again. There is a putrid culture, and I'm directing my comments to the new assistant superintendent. There is a putrid culture that Nadine Garvin has cultivated with certain principals in this district, and you will have to address that immediately. Immediately. There's some weird cult of personality that played a very big role in the cover-up of the abuse, and I always go back to this, because sometimes it gets lost, at least in my own mind, that sent my son and 3 other children back in the room to be abused. And if it was up to Dr. Yanni and Dr. Garvin and you, Mr. Freiling, at least he had the courage to show up tonight, my son would have been restrained multiple times today for 20 to 40 minutes at a clip. He would have been left nude on a filthy bathroom floor, etc., etc. I will never get over this, ever. And all the people, and some of them are sitting up here with me, that allowed it to continue and allowed these educators to stay in their job, I will never, ever forget it. And I do believe there's another story there that I am going to work on finding out why 4 people stood together so strongly and kept these people responsible for this horrific cover-up of horrific child abuse in their jobs. And I thank everyone for their support, and for the people that came tonight, thank you, and I stand with you.
Ms. Reynolds?
I echo everything that Susan had already said. My heart goes out to you, Jim. I've been a very strong advocate. I know I haven't spoken out, but for the same reasons that Susan